Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we are playing another Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay, and this promises to be a very exciting one, because it's Aristo playing as the Dark Elves against Tyrion Soothsayer, who is playing as the High Elves. So, classic matchup, and two very good players. And this army, what are you doing, man? The kite! Oh, the kite! He loves the kite. So here you can see a bunch of Dread Spears in the front line. Great roadblocks. Here, Sisters are seeing Doom for Terror, and also Rampage. Brilliant, you know, keep things in place. Very, very nice there. Also, good anti-infantry. I mean, left to their own devices, they can cut through Spearmen all day, which is very nice. Supreme Sorceress of Shadow, so Melkos, Enfeebling Foe, and Occam's Mindrazor. Occam's Mindrazor, I don't know why I don't see it brought more. It is a beautiful spell in this matchup, because you can bestow magic damage to things, and Dragon Princes are such a common pick, and it's physical resist that keeps them going against a lot of different units. So use Occam's Mindrazor on a unit of Cold One Knights, and that armor piercing, that anti-large, it's all gonna hit. There's gonna be no physical resist to stop it. And it also boosts your damage a hell of a lot too with that spell, so you can just wipe out Dragon Princes, or at least get over that initial hurdle, deal with martial prowess, and get to it, which is absolutely wonderful. Also here you can see there are a couple of Cold One Chariots, really nice. That missile damage is very good armor piercing, so they're just a great thing to distract you. You've got to deal with them at some point. They can do damage in, you know, melee, just charging through your front lines. You have to chase them with things when you could be blocking other cavalry, or you're just going to get shot by them. It's just a pain. It's really tough to deal with them. They're a constant distraction, and that is perfect in a sort of kitey build that's very maneuverable like this. You want things to be pulling your opponent one way or the next, especially if you've got a bunch of Dark Riser repeater crossbows too, with huge armor-piercing missile damage, and also Sinesh's Harvesters. I mean, Sinesh's Harvesters, for the free spells alone, they are brilliant. Being able to just land a big, fat Soul Stealer or a Word of Pain on anything expensive, you're laughing. So, absolutely wonderful. I love this army. And Soothsayer over here, you can see, he's got Spearmen. He's got a lot of Spearmen. He's got White Line to Trace, and he's hidden. He's hidden a couple of things. Yeah, so, here you can see Tyrion. You gotta love Tyrion. I mean, he's just the best duelist in the game, I reckon. He's so tough. With Feint and Riposte, he gets, you know, melee attack and defense upwards of 100. It's ridiculous. You just stand your ground, he has 120 melee defense. It's crazy. And he hits like an absolute truck. He's wonderful. Great fire resistance as well, missile resist. He's a sturdy boy. And Sunfang, that can do some serious work, and he can self-heal with the Heart of Avalon. He's just a nightmare to deal with. Dragon Princes here, 2 units, along with a Mage of Heavens with Wind Blast and Harmonic Convergence, so he can buff the melee stats of his own units with Harmonic Convergence, but also you can use Wind Blast just to get rid of the fodder quickly so he can start outnumbering things, and that's what you want to do. So over here, more White Lions and Silver Helms and Silver Helms. So a couple of Silver Helms and a couple of Dragon Princes. Oh, nope, that's 3 units of Dragon Princes, 2 are Silver Helms, a pretty sturdy front line, some armor piercing, some, you know, silver shields, so some good utility all around. So, speeding things up. Very scary stuff. So, White Lions, they're a nice target early on for the repeater crossbows, because they will be a bit of a nuisance if sort of left slogging out, you know, a fight with everything else. They do have too much armor for Dread Spears to really deal with, so you want to shoot them. I mean, they do have some pretty good missile resist, but it's not the greatest missile resist. The armor piercing is still going to more than make up for it. So, getting some damage in there, but now a huge sweep, just all of the cav charging down one side, trying to envelop here. He's got some infantry sort of being a distraction at this point, but Aristo, the fact he has a couple of chariots, these are great units for quickly dealing with these units that are on their own. You know, and now cavalry is having to come in to try and help, and here you can see the Cold One Knights are able to intercept the Silver Helms, and the Silver Helms are no match for Cold One Knights. So, Soothsayer immediately pulling out, and beautifully as well, avoiding getting rampaged, and now these Dragon Princes are going to push in, and suddenly this is a surround, and that is brutal. So over here, you can see something is about to be cast. This is going to be Occam's Mindrazor. Sadly, not before the charge, and they are starting to suffer some damage before they can get this damage in, but that is beautiful. And now, Curse the Midnight Wind. So it's Curse the Midnight Wind, not Wind Blast. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I misread the symbol. They look a bit similar. Anyway, Curse the Midnight Wind is just ruining these guys' stats, and it means the Dragon Princes are getting a bit of an edge here, which is pretty bad. Enfeebling Foe, weakening them as well, and over here you can see these Cold One Knights that got sandwiched. Well, they got sandwiched, didn't they? That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. The Chariots are in here trying to help out, and Sinesh's Harvesters, they too do have magic damage, so they can help against things like Dragon Princes, but they don't have the armor piercing to get over the armor. You need both. which is why it's so tough to deal with Dragon Princes, why they're so survivable. And here Tyrion is just pushing in, and Dark Riders having to pull out, but all the Cold One Knights just got collapsed on so quickly. Chariot still putting in some good work though, but yeah, with the Cold One Knights being so knackered. Look at this. And here, constantly pushing in. That's the thing, Soothsayer is not giving any respite, no time to recover. So here, Dread Spears are pushing in to try and help. See, Major Heavens is in quite a bit of trouble, and here Melkoth's keeping the Dragon Princes from pushing the advantage too much while he chases off some Silverhelms with his Dark Riders. So over here, Chariot's been doing a good job trying to whittle through this infantry and trying to gain an advantage somewhere. You know, if he can get the infantry of his own in here, he can stop this momentum and start bogging these units down. So over here you can see Occam's Mind Razor again, so that is the magic damage on his missile damage and melee. You know, trying to get that extra damage in, a huge amount of extra weapon damage and armor piercing damage, which is really nice. But sadly, he's getting bogged down on nothing in particular, which is pretty rough. Over here, Cold One Knights trying to deal with Dragon Princes, Harmonic Convergence cancelling out Enfeebling Foe, so they're still on even terms, and that is wonderful to see. One person bringing Enfeebling Foe and the other one bringing Harmonic Convergence. Just every time something gets debuffed, buff it back up to full strength again. That advantage is lost, and suddenly that momentum can continue. So over here you can see the Sisters of Doom trying to rampage these Dragon Princes, and if he manages to, he might be able to save the Dark Riders, but it's looking pretty bleak right now. So here you can see the Seneschus Harvesters getting almost wiped out. They are still just about going. They might rally, but with only 4 left and 150 health, they're not going to get much work done. So over here, Dark Riders running for their lives, trying to avoid all this. It's not looking great. Somehow the Supreme Sorceress has managed to stay out of the firing line. Over here, amazingly, these Dragon Princes did in fact get rampaged. But Sisters of Doom aren't really a match for Dragon Princes. The Dragon Princes will win out eventually. With the charge bonus, Sisters of Doom are just, they get flattened immediately and die. But no charge bonus if they're the ones to catch up to them and rampage them. So this has actually worked out pretty great. But if these Dark Riders, oh, they did come back. These Dark Riders came back, and so did these. So if these Sisters of Doom can stay in this fight, these Dragon Princes can be focused down by missiles, and that is huge. And over on this side, there's just no catching a bunch of these units. You see, these Dark Riders are keeping on the move, and the Chariots are going to continue trying to take out what infantry they can, while the Dread Spears keep pushing to try and make sure they are in the way of any cavalry that might be charging back in. Over on this side, though, you can see it's pretty neck and neck between this lot, so no clear winner, and none of them are going to get some resources back out of this fight, which is a shame. Over here, though, these Dragon Princes getting done like this is absolutely wonderful. Being able to catch up to them with the Sisters of Doom and rampage them, that is such a great get for Aristo. So over here, still though, the pressure is on. You know, these Dragon Princes can chase them all day. It's not really a problem. And here, Tyrion, still looking great. There's not much left to deal with him, honestly. I don't know what could deal with him at this point. He's one of those units, you really need something dedicated and scary to fight him. You really do. You need to be able to gang up on him with a ton of stuff, or just keep him bogged down forever and slowly kill him over hours. He's one of those fighters. He's just so sturdy. Look at that. Look at that. 99 melee defense. That's ridiculous. And that's not even the max he can have. It's crazy. And here's Silverhelms with Stand Your Ground and Harmonic Convergence, giving him 76 melee defense. But none of it is helping against the Dark Riders. The Dark Riders can still put in mad work here. And even the Chariots are continuing to fire, so this cavalry is getting worn down. And over on this side, these Dragon Princes have been shattered, because they were broken, and then the Dark Riders just chased them down. And that is wonderful. Plenty of ammo on this unit left as well. Plenty of ammo and plenty of health. They're not going to just run away, you know, at the drop of a hat. Over here, those Sisters of Doom, probably wise to get in here and finish off these spearmen. It'll free up some more Dread Spears, and at the moment, this ammunition is not worth the ammunition, I don't think. So over here, Tyrion is getting bogged down. And here, Feign to Repose to put up his stats, and Enfeebling Foe trying to stop them from going too high. Here, Supreme Sorceress trying to fight him, but that is a risky move. That is a very risky move. It's not looking great for him. More units trying to swing in. And over here, Harmonic Convergence and Feign to Repose. He has 126 melee defense, 129 melee attack. That's just classic Tyrion. It's classic him. So, having to run out of that fight. Now, more units are coming in, and Melkoth's to damage and slow down the Dragon Princes, because that's the thing. These units have to be facing their target to shoot them. And if you can slow down your target like that, you have time to get in more shots. So you can see these guys are really getting hurt. And that Melkoth will help too, because this is one high elf army that doesn't have healing. You know, so many high elf armies will just resort to just healing forever. That's what they'll try and do. They'll try and out-heal any mistake they might have made or any advantage the other player might have tried to get. But here, nope, it's not happening. It's not happening. He's just going with totally, you know, controlling the stat line, which I think is super interesting to see. Something you rarely see the high elves try and do, despite the fact they are great at it. So, bunch of chariots in here trying to do what they can. Looks like this mage is starting to struggle, and Tyrion just chewing through these chariots, but he's taking substantial damage from the repeater crossbows, and he can't really afford to charge in because this Sister Seeing Doom managed to rampage him. He's gonna be a sitting duck. He just can't risk it. He can't risk that. So over here, Supreme Sorceress chasing off these Dragon Princes. Absolutely wonderful. And the Cold One Knights are ready to intercept and get in the way to slow these guys down. And Chariot is back. More units are returning. Cold One Chariots. Pretty great. These Spearmen still looking pretty good. Still looking pretty good. They've got some fight left in them. And Dragon Princes are gone. So now the chase is on. Just trying to chase down Tyrion at the moment. Cold One Knights, they're trying to charge in, but as he's running around, he's recharging things like Feint, Riposte, and Stand Your Ground, so he can afford to buff his stats in a big way. And a little bit more damage on him, he can actually get the Heart of Avalon proc. And he can get basically all his health back. And it's going to be that much harder to win the fight. At this point, you're probably 9 times out of 10, you're better off going for these spearmen or this mage rather than trying to fight Tyrion. Because he will just get a bunch of health back, like he did then, and suddenly that's given him the confidence to keep fighting with an enfeebling foe, but Harmonic Convergence and a Fate Riposte, and then when one of those runs out, he can use Stand Your Ground as well. It just means Tyrion is out fighting all of this, and these Dark Rider repeater crossbows charged in, thinking they could quickly rout him, and it's not worked. They're just going to get killed if they stay there. But here, Sister Seeing Doom running in. If they manage to rampage him, that'll be great. But here comes the Sunfang. We haven't seen one of them yet, and Aristo clearly hasn't noticed. Ooh, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. He's almost run out of Sister Seeing Doom there, but he did get rampaged. He did get rampaged, but sadly everything's fleeing now. Here, Sorceress is chasing the Mage of Heaven to try and deal with him. And here, Tyrion looks like he might actually break. Nope, no, not at all. That flashing was just the rampage, and I'm being silly. So anyway, over here, Mage being chased about. But, I mean, God, with Tyrion, a comeback like that, and that's what Tyrion does. You know, if his leadership was a 10 lower, right, because the rest of his army had been wiped out, you know, the balance of power was screwing him over a bit. He would have broken before that had procced, and that would have been game over, you know? But no. He was enough to hang on, and that was enough to keep him fighting. That was enough to keep the Heart of Avalon, you know, keep him within the threshold that Heart of Avalon would proc. And that is when he's an absolute nightmare, this stage of the battle. And now, yeah, Sorcerer's trying to deal with him, and there's basically no hope. I mean, he's just such a great duelist, and there's still plenty of other units left. Here you can see Harmonic Convergence on him as well, because that mage still hasn't been dealt with. And Supreme Sorceress is really getting hurt. More units are starting to return, but there's barely anything left. And Supreme Sorceress just being annihilated. Big hit of armor-piercing missiles into Tyrion, and he's basically back to where he was before that engagement, but he's already wiped the Dark Elves out. Awesome fight. Love these battles, especially with Tyrion. It's been a long time since I've seen a beautiful game with a big turnaround from Tyrion. That's his bread and butter. That's just what he does in this game, because he is such a hard person to duel that if you can't somehow break him and chase him off, he's just going to keep fighting forever. He's going to turn the whole battle around, and that's exactly what happened. That one Sunfang, well, actually it was the Heart of Avalon, then the Sunfang. It was him getting focused down because he was close to breaking, but just hitting that point where he got his health back before he broke. Getting all his health back, startling the crap out of all the elves that then got turned to cinders by the Sunfang, and that was it. The whole battle got turned around in a second. Things were looking so good for the Dark Elves there. They looked so bad at the start, then so good, and then so bad again, and then they were all on fire, and Tyrion was making a kebab with all their bodies, which is pretty brutal. Wonderful fight. Absolutely wonderful fight. 2 great players and 2 great armies. Just wonderful. I loved it. I loved it. So guys, if you enjoyed it as much as I did, then comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.